What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I'm the only person talking horror on the internet. We had to switch locations and go downstairs. I got a bunch of shit from Severin, from Fright-Rags, from Target, and from Amazon, so I figured let's open some spooky shit up. So I think we're gonna start with Target. I got a bunch of stuff from their recent buy one, get one half off of physical media sale, so let's see what we got. Ordered like 10 things, so naturally they have to send it in like 6 packages. Let's start with this one. So first up, we've got Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. We covered this. This is a decent enough flick for me to turn on. I don't mind this movie. This is the Scream Factory release because I unfortunately missed out on the Walmart exclusive Steelbook. If you want more thoughts on it, I'm not going to be redundant for those who have been staying tuned. Check out my episode of the recent 211 horror movies that I counted down from 2023. It's in this episode. And Summer School. So Summer School is not a horror movie by any stretch, but I was probably in 3rd grade when I saw this. I think we as horror fans have claimed this at this point. It's the Shout Factory release that should have been Scream. Chainsaw and Dave from this movie are the first characters outside of a horror film that I saw that had a horror obsession like I did. This prompted me to blind buy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at Jamesway on VHS in like 1991. The classroom massacre scene in this is incredible. And I don't think we talk about it enough that Rhonda, who's in this movie, is an 18-year-old Shawnee Smith, a year before she was in The Blob, 16 years before she became Amanda in the Saw franchise. This was her first step into screen queendom. Okay, more Target. We got a slip. Beau is Afraid. All right, so not my favorite Aster, but again, this is something that I had to have because I do feel that long term, I will be revisiting this. Again, if you want further thoughts, it's this episode of my recent countdown. Okay, there's a couple in here. One slip, one not. Let's go with the non first so we could be let down. Killing of a Sacred Deer. All right, so this has been on my to-buy list for a long while. It's such a dark movie that poses such an impossible scenario that I've probably, to be honest with you, I've strayed from purchasing this just because I'm not entirely certain that I want to watch this again, right? I mean, it's brilliantly done, but it's one you definitely need a palate cleanse for after you're finished with it. And our slipcover, fuck yes. All right, we got Immaculate. So this is gonna be a preview into the 2024 list. I loved Immaculate. As it stands, this is in my top 5 for 2024. I had to have this. Plus, I gotta believe that there's some kind of mistake that they had this for $15 new on Blu-ray on release. It's still on Target's website at $15. I'm not complaining, but yeah. Such a good movie. Let's go with this one. Oh, there's 3 in here. There is a slip, and it's not for Watcher. I thought this was a really clever serial killer flick. Stars Micah Monroe, probably her most acclaimed since It Follows and The Guest. I loved Villains as well, but people kind of slept on that one. But this was top notch, counting the days until Longlegs. We love you, Queen. Let's go. Stop sticking. Come out! Speak No Evil. This is one of the most tense and unsettling films I have ever seen. And I am dreading the Americanized version. I didn't own it already because there's no Blu-ray for some reason. I'm hopeful that it's on the horizon via Shudder's recent deals with either Vinegar Syndrome or Severin. I don't mind double dipping in that scenario. I had to have this. And I'm scared that it's going to go out of print because of the new movie and it's not going to be available in the States. Blah, blah, bullshit politics. Happy to have it. And finally, our slip. The Nun 2. So this is so much better than the first. It's not a great movie, but definitely a higher point in the mostly unwatchable Conjuring universe. Probably because no Gary Dauberman. Fuck you, Gary Dauberman. I see you up there. More details on this episode of The Countdown. Let's do the box, right? Saw X with the slip. So it's in the upper half of the franchise in my book, and it was fine. The fuck am I gonna buy the other 9 and not buy this? I own fucking Spiral. Am I gonna own Spiral and not own this? That shit's terrible. More details on this one, this episode of The Countdown. Last one from Target. Oh, fair. Euphoria! So it's not horror at all. I'm not going to try to justify it as such by saying that it's the horrors of youth or some shit. This is a brilliantly written series. This is a flawless show. I don't know if we're ever getting more of it at this point. I mean, let's be real. People have died. People have left. People have moved on to the A-list. The Icon really fucked Sam Levinson's Golden Boy status. And I'm half considering dropping HBO Max, but I don't ever want to be without this show. Even if it's on fucking DVDs, even if I have to double dip on Blu-rays because they happen one day, I'll happily do it. I adore this show. We're gonna go Fright-Rags next. I know what it is. This is the Creepshow Coloring and Activity book. So Creepshow was an early favorite for me. My Uncle Gary showed me and my brother this when we were way too young, and we became very quickly obsessed. We had the original release of the graphic novel. My brother held it for decades, and he just gave it to me a couple of years ago. It is 100% my first George Romero. I'll go, it's probably 90% my first Stephen King. I have really early memories of Cat's Eye and Firestarter and Stand By Me and Cujo and Christine, but none of them really hit like Creepshow. I've gotten every one of Fright-Rags coloring books. I absolutely love them. I wish there was a little bit more to them as a puzzle guy, but I'm certainly not mad. Fright-Rags, get at me. I'll make some puzzles for you. I'd be happy to. All right, guys, what do you think? Amazon Severin. Amazon Severin. You guys voted Amazon. Oh, guys, it is a meat thermometer. Just think about that. Think about how many times you ate raw meat. Never again. Not with this. Let's open Severin. All right, folks. This is from Severin. And if you're asking yourself, was this already opened? No. I ripped the tape when I was taking off the label. And yeah, I retaped it just for you, because I love you. So I freaked out when Cemetery Man, aka Delamorte Delamore, wasn't only announced, but was announced in this gorgeous multi-disc limited edition set. This was on my top 10 wish list for a number of years for things that I wanted the most on Blu-ray. They truly outdid themselves with this. I could not justify myself to buying was the gift set that they offered, which had a ton of bonus ephemera like shirts and pins and all kinds of shit like that. Even though this was something that I have wanted since I first saw this movie in 1997. Thankfully, they broke up the sets and I was able to purchase this Cemetery Man snow globe. Let me get up and show this to you. I mean, are you seeing this? I'm not going to get into the significance of this, but please see this movie. This is one of the most underrated horror movies that you're ever going to see. I don't know why we don't celebrate this film as much as we do some of the other classics that we have. If you already have seen it and you're interested in this, I did check right before filming. They do still have a few of these left. So if you're looking to get in on it, I think they were like $30. It's really not bad at all, especially for something like this. So I guess that's gonna do it for today, right? Do all these things. Let me know which of these things you'd like the most right over here. As always, this is all a matter of opinion. See them yourself, especially this guy. Remain critical, support horror, and recycle.